How do you feel when people call you a culture vulture?
I get called a culture vulture 1,000 times a day.
Yeah. What's the difference between you and somebody who you think or you consider a real culture vulture?
Let's talk about this controversial term, culture vulture. This is Fresh Hip-Hop Opinion with your guy Olize. Don't forget to subscribe. So yes, culture vulture is a term in hip-hop pretty much created by Dame Dash. I don't believe there's anyone else that was saying it before him, but definitely not pushing it the way he was a few years ago. And it seems to be only aimed at people of a certain race. I'll say it, white people. And is it fair, people? Hip-hop, yes, it started in the black communities by DJ Kool Herc. And let's keep it real, it's an African-American thing. But that was in the 70s, people. Things have changed. It's embraced by all cultures, of all races, around the world. And why I'm bringing it up right now is because DJ Vlad was on Willie D's podcast, and Willie D was asking Vlad, how do you feel about being called a culture vulture? And Vlad gave a good answer. Check out the clip.
How do you feel when people call you a culture vulture?
I get called a culture vulture 1,000 times a day.
Yeah. What's the difference between you and somebody who you think or you consider a real culture vulture?
When you look at other prominent people who are called culture vultures, they really have an immense level of contribution. Lyor Cohen, you can't downplay what he's done in hip-hop. He's the head of YouTube Music Global, not just America, YouTube Music Global. He's the head of. Vlad TV used to be located in SRC Records, which is headed by Steve Rifkin, another person who's constantly being called a culture vulture. This is the guy that introduced the world to Wu-Tang, Big Pun, Exhibit, 3 6 Mafia, Akon, Melanie Fiona, Asher Roth.
But he got paid to do that, though.
Well, of course you're going to get paid for putting out products that millions of people are enamored by.
Yeah, fam. When you hear the names that are called culture vultures, you got Lyor Cohen. The guy did big things at Def Jam and now is head of YouTube Global, the music department. So all that music on YouTube, he's the head of that. Now just because he's got a big position in music doesn't mean he's not a culture vulture. But just because you're white definitely does not make you a culture vulture. Like Vlad mentioned Steve Rifkin, and he mentioned some ridiculous names that he helped bring to the commercial world, like Wu-Tang, Big Pun, and these are arguably the top 20 hip-hop artists of all time. Just those two alone. And Lyor Cohen, I mean, he was involved with DMX and Redman, Method Man, LL Cool J. So can we really call white people in hip-hop all culture vultures? I don't think it's fair. I don't necessarily think everyone calls them culture vultures. I don't think Eminem is really spoken that term, but I think there's a lot of people that still do call him that. I think Lord Jamar kind of referred to it back in the day on DJ Vlad's show, ironically. But he more said that Eminem was a guest in hip-hop. Is this a deeper thing? Is this an American thing? Is this just a color thing? Because if you're somebody that grew up in a black neighborhood, you got the same issues or similar issues pretty much as the next person who's also black. You've had the same struggles, same experiences. Can you really be referred to as a culture vulture in hip hop? Like for example Eminem. And what about maybe even a Paul Wall? Is the skin color really just the major difference? You can argue that these guys, as much as they're involved in hip hop, they don't understand black pain. They don't understand racism, for example. But that's a whole separate conversation. Hip hop is hip hop. Can you DJ? Can you rap? Can you break dance? Are you part of the culture? Because on a hip hop level, you could probably think of examples of rap stars or hip hop stars that were black, but their music didn't resonate or didn't have the skill set in their rapping skills as much as some of the white rappers like Eminem or Mac Miller or Vanilla Ice. Okay, Vanilla Ice, I'm joking, okay. At one point, Willie D said, are they culture vultures because they get paid? Every black hip hop individual will get paid no matter what race you are, actually, like, you're gonna get paid for doing your work. So just because you get paid and you're in hip-hop and you're white, definitely should not get you the culture vulture tag. I could understand it if hip-hop isn't your thing, because I believe Leo Cohen isn't really a hip-hop guy. He's more of a rock and roll guy, and he just came into an industry and made money off it. But he might not be a hip-hop fan. Does that make him a culture vulture? I can kind of see that argument. But if you're someone that hip-hop is in your veins, you grew up with it, you love it, I don't think that term should ever be aimed at those individuals. But I truly do believe it's more of a deep-rooted issue in America. Race in America is way more of an issue. It's a shame, but I believe it's true. But that's just my opinion. I want to know yours. Leave a comment below. I want to know what you think. Get in the comments. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, you can join the exclusive membership and get exclusive content on this channel. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion. Peace and love.